This is Kiribati Island, one of the world's most distant countries, a group of 33 atolls in the Central Pacific. Atolls are low-lying islands by nature. Each atoll is a ring-shaped coral reef that surrounds a lagoon. Kiribati will challenge your perception of how life should be and show you a simpler way of life centered on family and community. The island's stunning landscape and distinct culture have always attracted visitors from all over the world. Making it a postcard-perfect paradise. Kiribati lies halfway between Hawaii and Australia. Both the international dateline and the equator travel through Kiribati's island. As a result, they are the only country in the world that spans 4 hemispheres and are also among the first to see the sunrise every day. Before 20 years, it was a lovely little country. Then, all of a sudden, things began to change. The independent Republic of Kiribati is being reintroduced to the map as the first to be removed from it, thanks to climate change. Glaciers and ice sheets are melting due to global warming. Since 1993, the average annual rise in sea level has been 3.2 millimeters. For islands and coastal areas, this is disastrous. To get an idea about how aware are the people of India about this impending disaster, a team decided to take a survey, highlighting the awareness of climate change. And the results were a mixed bunch. While most of them were aware of the climate change issue, only 31% had heard of Kiribati Island. We took it upon ourselves to make this documentary in order to bring to the limelight the drowning paradise and the importance of protecting the environment.
Sea level rise is one of the most serious risks to Kiribati. That's because the Kiribati Island, which is made up of 33 low-lying atolls. Atolls are basically only 4 meters high at its tallest point, and we can safely assume that 100% of the population lives within 1 kilometer of the coast. As a result, the country is highly susceptible. Given that scientific study indicates that by 2100 we will have experienced more than a meter of sea level rise, and thus it is almost guaranteed that we will have experienced more than a meter of sea level rise. The amount of sea level rise on a flat island like Kiribati reaches well inland. As a result, it is very, very dangerous. Kiribatians have already started immigrating in response to what they see as an unavoidable predicament. Those who stick to the land in search of transitory answers, residents have started erecting coral rock walls, which are subsequently washed away by the high tide. Mangroves have been planted to protect the soil from erosion and mitigate strong surges.
Storms that are surging are progressively causing the sea to enter the land, poisoning freshwater reserves, damaging crops, flooding homes. Isolated from the rest of the world, residents of Kiribati never expected them to be the first victims of climate change, although they account only for 0.6% of the global greenhouse gas emissions. Kiribati has publicly called for improved legislations and measures that are targeted at lowering harmful emissions. The country's former president has spent the last decade traversing the world to raise awareness of his country's suffering and find answers to the impending disaster. The government has begun programs to train citizens in skills like nursing and mechanics that would make them attractive migrants, calling it dignified migrations. It's even also the government has purchased a land in Fiji to cultivate food and maybe serve as a safe place for the country's entire population. The concept of constructing a massive floating platform similar to those used by oil firms or as a temporary sea fortifications has also been explored, but both solutions have been ruled out due to their high costs. Now, the platform would cost approximately $2 billion or 10 times Kiribati's GDP. The government has begun programs to train citizens in skills like nursing and mechanics that would make them attractive migrants, calling it dignified migrations. It's even also the government has purchased a land in Fiji to cultivate food and maybe serve as a safe place for the country's entire population.
The truth is that this issue is not unique to the Pacific. Kiribati may very well be the first domino to fall, but surely not the last. Sea levels would increase nearly 7 meters if the ice sheets that rule Greenland melted altogether, and cities like London and Los Angeles would vanish.